Like, what y'all doing? I'm doing, I don't know, I'm pretty sure my chief is doing it to make sure I'm not hiding off myself, because he calls, like, very randomly. People come knocking on the door, like, oh, you're not going to live for, bro, you know what room this is. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Especially you're the CEO, too, like, you're the, the dirty person.
Yeah.
I know why you're here. Don't act like, you just popped up here.
Time would soon reveal that the Navy command had been more on top of things than anyone could have imagined. Brianna's co-workers weren't the only ones who'd been attempting to check up on her.
Did your mama come down there? Because she had told us that, well, she had told her dad that she was coming down yesterday. She been coming since Wednesday.
That's about to say she's been coming up since the day that it happened.
But, like, she just...
Like, I've given up on her. Like, I don't know what the hell going on.
I think you might need to ask her, like, why y'all stories different. Like, why you saying that if she, she really was? What that's about? You need to ask her that.
Good, you think I'm gonna get her out?
I don't know, but you don't want at least want to know.
I gotta find one of my other
I
notes.
mean, I do, but
Like this.
do y'all really believe she's gonna tell the truth? She hasn't told the truth yet.
I don't know what her reasoning is, but it's to keep the lie going for so long.
I mean, it's too late now. She can't backtrack.
Chelsea and Doriel then asked Brianna about the possibility of there being evidence in the apartment she left when she moved to the house on Ivy Street.
Do you think it's something maybe in an old apartment that they'll find that'll help? Like,
no. Because if they did, they would have found her. Remember, they closed up. Those things closed up for 3 days, 4 days, almost a week.
Police had, in fact, found shocking evidence in Brianna's apartment, specifically the bedroom closet. Brianna had to have guessed what they found, but still chose to remain silent on the matter.
So, Brianna, you hadn't thought about, like, her just being out there by herself? You know she's scared of everything, like, that's...
Silence.
If he thinks it's a good idea, would you be okay talking to the detective for me?
Yes.
Yeah. The same one you want to move.
Oh, yeah, no, not that lady.
Okay, bro, that's what I was asking.
Based on Brianna's lack of cooperation and some other concerning evidence that would be addressed soon, police decided to place her under round-the-clock surveillance. It didn't take long for this to pay off. Early on November 11th, just 5 days after Taylor went missing, Brianna was seen donating some of Taylor's belongings. This included stuffed animals, clothes, and even some unopened packages of toys. Around the same time, the efforts of all the officers digging through countless heaps of trash finally paid off. They stumbled upon a box addressed to Brianna, along with certificates from the Navy with her name on them.
Good looks, I appreciate that.
Interested in, however. Also in the trash were several notes from the daycare center on the Navy base, requesting a change of clothes and a toothbrush for Taylor. In the trash, police also
this
found
story right
several
here
art
is crazy.
projects,
I'm
which
about to
police
go
assumed
listen
had
to
been
the
made by
other one that
Taylor.
I was
One of
just
the
listening
projects
to
was a
see how many
handmade card
years
from
son
Taylor
got.
to her mother. Why Brianna didn't want these items, especially when her daughter was missing, was a mystery. There was also still the issue of what was discovered in the closet in Brianna's apartment. To say it was disturbing would be a massive understatement. One of the first things investigators noticed was a foul odor emanating from the space. It was impossible to say if this was a result of more feces found inside, or the mysterious stains covering the walls and carpets. It seems
My Facebook is in the description.
The smell by sprinkling baking soda on the rug. Police took multiple DNA swabs from the inside of the closet, collecting samples from the walls, floors, and each stain. It would take time to receive DNA results, so they also conducted a field test to determine if any of the stains were human blood. Dismayingly, while the swabs didn't immediately indicate blood, many of the stains on the walls reacted when sprayed with luminol. Fearing the worst, police opted to have a cadaver dog brought to the apartment. However, the smell of feces and trash was so overwhelming that the dog was unable to effectively alert. Police resorted to ripping out the carpet from the closet and taking it outside. In the fresh air, the dog was much more effective and alerted on the carpet right away, indicating that at least some of the stains came from human remains. This wasn't the only area that got a response. When cadaver dogs were brought to Brianna's car, they alerted in no less than 3 areas: the driver's seat, the rear seats, and trunk. When police took a closer look at the trunk of the car, they noticed that there was an unknown whitish residue on the interior. interior, they also found a broken fingernail and an air freshener jammed into the trunk lid, which likely came from the package found in the Ivy Street house. The vehicle had a pervasive scent of cleaning chemicals. Despite the car wash, they also located some reddish dirt on the underside of the vehicle that matched the soil on the dirt road in Alabama. There was now no way to deny it. This was no longer a missing persons case,
How can you
but rather
kill your
an
daughter?
investigation into a death. Brianna's mother had feared this
I ain't gonna
outcome
lie, I'm
all
starting to
along.
think like this. I'm grateful I don't got no kids yet.
To be honest,
And I'm gonna keep saying I'm gonna watch who I have kids with, because I don't want to lose my freedom. I don't, fuck that. I don't want to lose my freedom because I gotta kill the mother of my kid because she thinks she gonna play with my kid. If you feel a way towards me, don't take that shit out on my kid. Try to play with me so I can play with you. Like,
no, he just said, you know, she gets angry at like the simple things. He just asked her to tell his girlfriend thank you, and she got so mad that she just blocked her on all social media. Completely stopped talking.
Police plan to place Brianna under arrest on November 12th, following a final gruesome discovery. The charges she faced at this time were child neglect and providing false information to law enforcement officials. Her chief was sent to pick her up on base and bring her to the police station for booking. However, no matter what he may have expected, what happens next is so shocking, it must have shaken him to the core.
They watch some bad news, stuff like that on the news, and I hate going back and forth with it, everything's going on. But, you know, now they're saying that you're a personal interest. Man. Open up. Oh, yeah. Something else.
she know it's over. Oh, she killed.
She killed her daughter?
Yeah. And now that shit, the whole time they was searching for her daughter, she ain't throw up, she ain't vomit, she ain't show no type of
It was
emotion.
quickly becoming
But
obvious that
now,
something was wrong with Brianna, but the chief could not have possibly predicted how dire the situation was about to become.
but now that she know that they know that she killed her daughter, she vomiting, showing emotion.
Crying.
Nah, she's not crying.
She's just showing.
This is what I'm trying to. That's what's making this shit even more sickening to me. Like, feel me? You see how I talk about revenge and doing shit to niggas that if I find out if they had something to do with what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
But you see how I say I'm not gonna do nothing because that shit gonna be on my conscience.
And you say your freedom is too important.
Yeah, and I go to jail. Who the fuck my youngins are gonna look up to after that? They gonna be out here losing themselves. Honestly, I feel like my nieces aren't hoes because they know I hear some wild shit, I'm smacking fire out them. At the end of the day, y'all my nieces, and y'all don't have to be out here doing weird shit for nothing. No type of money. Because if I got it and you ask me, I know y'all got it.
God, I forgot I told you to put the in.
But you want me to pass you back the what's the name?
You want my cucumbers?
How you
It
want
was only
some?
so long that Chief could wait for a coherent answer before he decided he needed to take action, and it wasn't a moment too soon, because what was coming would likely stay with him for the rest of his career, if not his life.
Sorry. Take it to the ER. Right?
No.
No. Williams, talk. Talk to me, Williams, talk to me.
Just minutes later, as the pair were en route to the hospital, the worst happened.
Same pulse. Same pulse.
Now you see how God worked? I think she killed her daughter and then had a seizure.
Oops. No. Oh my God.
And her captain is the dumb one for grabbing her like that while she's seizing. That's why I'm about to get a big ass lawsuit. I feel sorry for everybody that's switching up on me in this plan right here. I'm not telling nobody. Cause I know I'm looking at some shit. I know that. Cause that's called defamation of character. Even if I was on life support, it's still defamation of character. Lying. And then y'all call my father an immigrant. That man have his green card. Had his green card for 30 years now. So, like, I don't know if my family, bro, this shit bothers me. It probably bothers me because I'm the one living it
The
in
chief arrived
reality
at the
type
Navy
shit.
base emergency room just moments after Brianna's massive seizure, and she was still deemed to be in critical condition. There was only so much the doctors could do without knowing what was wrong with her. Brianna slipped into a coma and was placed on life support. Her condition was determined to be unstable. While Brianna's fate was up in the air, elsewhere other questions pertaining to the investigation were finally being answered. Police finished downloading the GPS data from Brianna's car. It confirmed what they suspected based on her phone records, showing that she had made 3 back-and-forth trips to the Linden, Alabama area between October 31st and the very early hours of November 3rd. Police retrieved video of Brianna getting gas along the route she took, though it was impossible to tell if Taylor was in the car with her due to the vehicle's tinted windows. They also found evidence that Brianna had stopped at a car wash on November 4th. Security footage from the business didn't show anyone else in the car with her. Most significantly, the GPS proved that Brianna's mother, Carissa, had been telling the truth. The GPS showed that while Brianna had gotten close to her mother's residence, she had not driven there. It also showed that on her final trip to Alabama, she'd spent almost 20 minutes on an out-of-the-way dirt road and wasn't far from the cemetery where Brianna's grandmother was buried. Obviously, police wanted to know why, and assembled a search team consisting of police, medical professionals, and dogs to go and search just outside Linden, Alabama for themselves. The area was divided into quadrants to be excavated and sifted through. While a cadaver dog searched the area, it didn't take long for the investigators to uncover some tragic results. Partially buried in a shallow grave, police found a trash bag wrapped in a shower curtain containing a children's t-shirt covered in decomposition stains. But it was about to get worse. Just yards away, the first bones and bone fragments were found. Most of the skull was found a short distance away, along with a clump of human hair that might have been Taylor's. The remains had been scattered and seriously damaged by animal activity. As a result, police were only able to recover a small portion of what they suspected to be Taylor's body. However, they would have to wait on DNA testing to prove it.
Exactly. How can you do that to your child?
Skeletal. Police were pretty sure about how the body came to be in Alabama, but the only person who could confirm their theory was Brianna, and she remained in critical condition. A search of Brianna's quarters on the Navy base led investigators to believe that Brianna had ingested laundry detergent. Once they knew what they were treating her for, doctors were able to more effectively intervene and saved Brianna's life. Once she was discharged from the hospital, she was brought back to the police station and given one more chance to tell her side of the story.
There's no side of the story when there's a dismembered child.
Coffee? Soda, water? Nothing? Okay.
Just like before, Brianna quickly made herself as comfortable as possible and appeared to try to go to sleep. This time, though, she only had to wait about 20 minutes before detectives came in to talk with her.
Yeah. Good morning. I need to sit up and I'm going some paperwork again, okay? Then I'm going to go over the rest of your rights with you, okay? And I want you to just acknowledge that you understand. You do not have to make a statement or say anything. You understand that? I'm going to need a yes or no, okay? Is that a yes? Okay.
The detectives advised Brianna of the rest of her rights once again.
Hey, Brianna, did the nurse assist you with your throat issue that you were telling me about at the hospital?
A little bit. Does it feel better today? Not complete. Are you normally just quiet all the time, real low key, don't do a lot of talking? I am too, I'm kind of shy. Can you tell? Can you tell? First of all, we need to have a good conversation, so I'm gonna need you to sit up from that thing over there and stop leaning on that wall and talk to me, okay? Look at me when we're talking. We've had an investigation going on for a while. Our investigation has led us to some things in Alabama, okay? And what we need to do today with you is we need to talk about what's going on out there. Now, where in Alabama are you from?
Nope.
Are you from Alabama? Is that a yes? You gotta say yes or no to me, okay? I can't have head dialogues and we can't have misunderstanding. Are you from Alabama?
I don't want to talk.
You don't want to talk? Okay. You're tired, you don't want to talk. So you don't want to talk to the police at all? Okay.
With that anticlimactic end to the interview, Brianna followed her pattern of behavior throughout the case and went back to sleep. Ultimately, police didn't need Brianna's cooperation in order to answer their remaining questions. 4 days after this failed attempt to speak with Brianna, on November 25th, DNA testing proved the remains found in the Alabama woods belonged to Taylor. As a result, Brianna was now facing charges of murder. Due to the poor condition of the remains and the fact that the searchers were only able to recover about 10% of Taylor's skeleton, it was impossible to determine a cause of death. However, analysis of her tooth enamel and skull showed evidence of serious malnutrition. They also couldn't provide an exact time of death and were only able to say that the little girl had passed anywhere from several weeks to several months ago, between May and November 2019. Given that the rate of decomposition is dependent on the size of the human and environmental factors, decomposition can start as early as 24 hours after death or as late as 72 hours after death. In conditions where the body isn't exposed to the sun and is in a climate-controlled environment, it would take at least 4 weeks for the body to begin to skeletonize. In this particular case, Taylor was a small, malnourished child and covered with a plastic shower curtain. This would slow down the rate of decomposition by locking in moisture and protecting the remains from bugs and direct sunlight. The issue of knowing the rate of decomposition in this case is the variable of animal activity, which could expose the remains to the elements at different rates. If her remains had no indication of animal activity, were wrapped in plastic and placed in the shallow grave shortly after time of death, it could take over 30 days to begin to see skeletonization. It's a very real possibility that the little girl starved to death, locked in a closet by her mother, and left to waste away in filth. The reason for the stains on the closet walls would remain a mystery, though, without a determined cause of death. In September 2022, Brianna pled guilty to second-degree murder. Though her attorney repeatedly requested she face a reduced sentence due to her exemplary military record, she was sentenced to life in prison. Though her incarceration will do nothing to bring her daughter back, at least justice for the innocent little girl was served.
My baby was just murdered, okay? If a sitter left your kid to die,
What?
you would air out the sitter's name. She's a liar.
Nah, what? Nah, now this title just blew my OnlyFans mom realizes cops discover her mummified 7-month-old. What? Nah.
No dead baby jokes. They're not funny anymore.
A chilling 911 call leads police to
So
a
many
house of
people that don't
unimaginable
deserve to be
horror,
mothers.
where
This
two
is
abandoned
sickening.
children are found in a heartbreaking scene that defies explanation. When their missing mother cries murder in a desperate video online, the search for answers reveals a truth far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined.
I just wanted to have some fun teenage time, and I always say that I can't do it, and I can't do it. And so I guess that was come to an end.
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On February 25th, 2025, police in Yakima, Washington receive a 911 call from a concerned woman after witnessing the start of an unsettling Snapchat video.
So, a friend of mine, she's saying that my niece was murdered and that she looks very strung out and not so okay, and she's talking about my niece being murdered, and she's just going on, and I'm kind of concerned for her. She's posting it all over social media.
I'm on my way back to Yakima, and I swear to God, my baby was just murdered, okay? So this is not y'all's time to come to Kylie and hugs. Shut the up. Actually do something that you know that I would benefit from. Because I don't like hugs. Don't be there for Kylie. Stop it. Help me pop in it. And help me, baby. Don't act like you knew her. Because you didn't. I didn't even know her. Like, shut up. Just say that's wrong. That my baby was murdered because I left her with a sitter and the sitter left.
As this woman, 20-year-old Kylie Toll, films from an unknown location in her car, police are actively searching for her. Earlier that morning, Kylie called 911, leading Yakima police to one of the most harrowing discoveries imaginable.
Hey, it's okay. Take a deep breath, okay? Okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. What's your location? I'm not your dad. The officers are going to my house.
Did you take my lighters?
Ma'am, listen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You're gonna
I
get
don't
this
know
out
where
or
you're
you're
at,
gonna
but
put it
send
away
you
for
help. I need
tomorrow?
you to take a breath and give me an address. No,
I'm gonna eat it.
I don't care about
You said what?
right now.
You're gonna eat it?
My eyes down there with my stomach up to this. But are you
Tomorrow,
there right
it
now?
is tomorrow.
There is no help. There is no help. There's nobody home. I was touching this woman. I was touching this woman named Tata. Yes. Isn't that a lie? Okay. What's up? Is your contact? Hello?
According to police records, when police arrived at Kylia's home, they entered through the unlocked front door, finding the place oddly quiet. They opened a closed bedroom door, only to be hit with the powerful odor of garbage and cat urine. In the corner of the room, in a small bassinet, officers saw what they assumed was a baby doll, but the truth was far more devastating. Wearing Christmas pajamas and partially covered by a blanket, Kylia's daughter, 7-month-old Cherry, lay deceased. Her skin appeared leathery and pale, her eyes sunken in. The tips of her fingers had already begun to decay.
No one didn't really know Sherry that well. I would be there for the people who did. Be there for the people who really loved her more than you loved her. Dude, I swear to God, I'm not even gonna try to look good. This is not about me. It's not about me. This is the things that you can do to help. Genuinely. Like things. Unique. Not just like everybody else's. Make sure it's born.
You said lighters, so you got that one and another one?
Make her
The blue
think.
one, the yellow one, now I have
If you have a space for the cherry tree or space
That's
for
orange. You don't know your colors?
4. This is 3 and 4. Then the green one
As
is
officers
2 and 4,
continued their
and
search
then
of the
the
girl's
pink one is
bedroom,
1.
they heard the soft
Can you
cries
see-
of Kylia's 2-year-old daughter
Hey,
coming
so
from her crib.
can I ask you another
Miraculously,
question
she
like I
was
just
still
asked you?
alive,
You don't know your
though
colors?
she could barely stand.
That is
The
not
toddler
yellow.
appeared severely malnourished. The bedding beneath her
Leave me
was
alone.
soiled with dark stains. Her hair and face were caked with a thick mucus,
That's
affecting her ability
yellow.
to open her eyes. With no way
Now
to know
look
the
back
last
at that
time she
later.
had water
What
or
color is
food,
that?
she was
You do
rushed
know
to the
certain people
hospital
have
for
color
emergency
blindness,
care.
right?
You
Give me one
okay?
meal.
Yes, I do know that.
Right? They
I
either
do
see
know
the
that.
colors too bright or see them too
In the
dull.
time that they're
Yeah, that's
evidence
regardless of the fact that's orange.
Oh,
commissary, like
that
I'm
feels
in
so
jail.
good.
Yeah,
For running
that's
my
orange
books.
and that's yellow.
I need to eat like this every day.
So eat like that every day.
I can't. I don't have the funds.
Traumatizing, dude. I just got out and now I'm being prepared to go back. But I am
Once detectives arrived at the scene, they described the
Big
rest of the
Bird.
home as a collective reflection of neglect.
Trying to be
The
funny,
floors were
trying.
grimy. Trash and
You know,
remnants
right,
of
was
old food
telling
littered the
that to
house.
y'all.
Several small cats were left to roam freely throughout the home and were secured by animal control. In the girl's bedroom, diapers filled with feces lay open on the carpet and overflowed from a nearby trash bin. Later the same day, Kylia continues to film from her car, claiming the fault lies with a babysitter who left her children for dead.
watch out for KK. If you know who KK is, shoot that. Jail isn't enough for her. I want her to slowly die. Just like I'm sure my cherry did. But I but I will go to jail for this one. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
you're gonna go to jail for your kids. Obligated young dummy.
As she continues to film, Yakima police receive a call from a girl named Chloe,
Obvious.
stating
You
she's a
could
friend
tell
of
she's
Kylia's,
young.
and she believes
You could
she's
tell
sitting in
she's
her
no
car at the
older than
Small
like
Rock Resort.
22.
She's still filming as a deputy with the Yakima
And
County
she's
Sheriff's
going to
Office races to her
jail
location.
forever.
Stand up for the fact. So like,
I don't feel sorry for her. That's what happened when you want to be out here popping pussy for money. The title alone told me that it should say OnlyFans
call the
mom.
police on that.
Why they had to like
Call the police on
justify it like that?
So on and so forth. Thank you. I'm going to buy like a gas to come back to do this. So let's do it.
As Kylia prepares
Look
to
out.
leave, the deputy
She
pulls
look
in
like
behind her, blocking
Jessie.
the path, and approaches the driver's side door.
Stop coming at my ill sister's head like
Look
that.
at her. She look like
My
Jessie.
sister has diabetes and
She
it's
look
going-
like
going
Jessie.
through exactly what my mother's going through.
No, she look like Jessie mixed with a little bit of Richie.
What?
Yeah.
No.
What, a little bit of me?
No, I won't.
No, not you, Rachel Young.
I'm gonna let you, okay, everything is recorded. Okay, everything's being recorded, alright? Not gonna fight you up here in the middle. You can have that in a minute. I'm wearing a body camera, everything's recorded, okay? Stop.
For my own
Stop.
player.
Okay, I understand. I'm not gonna hurt you as long as you listen to what I'm saying, okay? Are you injured?
No.
Are you
My
okay?
baby was murdered, and I was
Okay, don't say anything that can be used against you. I'm gonna read your rights in a second, okay? I need you to drop whatever's in your hand, okay?
It was from my baby.
Okay, do you wanna hold on to that?
Nah, these must be kids on my live right now.
Here. All right.
They chatting.
I have a friend coming to come get it.
Okay, do you have
So
any
can
weapons
we-
on you?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna check you, okay? Just nothing in your pockets?
No. I mean, you can pull down my pants. I have.
Come over here, I don't wanna pull down your pants,
Hey,
okay?
wait.
Gussy,
You see what's going on? They worry about
I'm
her
gonna
kids
look
and
through
she
that,
trying to
okay? Anything you need in the car besides that?
let them fuck her so she can get off.
Call with my lawyer in the car.
Sit tight,
Talking
okay?
about just pull out on my
Chloe, who
pants.
alerted police to
What?
Kylia's location, pulls up
Shorty,
at the
you're
scene.
going to
My friend
jail.
Chloe is coming
You're
back.
worried
Guys,
about the wrong
guys!
shit. You ain't
My
asked
God,
one.
What you say to him?
She ain't
The
asked one
deputy speaks
question
briefly
about
with
her
Chloe,
kids.
who agrees to
She's
head to the
trying to
police
get
station for
dick
questions. As for Kylia's
to get out them
car, it will be
handcuffs.
impounded for evidence, leaving her concerned for her belongings.
And what about the items that I like to keep special in the car?
Yeah. Like was that your baby's bracelet?
Not particularly, but
What was that?
everything in that car is special.
Okay.
And everything is put in place.
Okay.
I do have marijuana on the side door. That's the only thing that I know is in there. And that was part of my testimony that I was coming in to have that.
What's going on today?
I don't know, dude. So I was just coming to find out what's going on, if something happened.
Yeah, it's a Yakima police case. I'm not sure how much info you'll see it on the news, I guarantee it. But
Oh, that
it'll
bad?
be a little bit, yeah.
Oh,
Tomato soup.
So,
I'm sorry.
but we YPD is taking the car. We have a tow truck coming, so it'll be able to.
Who else is gonna subscribe to the channel before I end
Get it
this?
out of here on a tow truck as soon as.
Probably
they
end
get
this
up there,
at
I'll get a
like
tow truck up here.
1:30 or 2.
I wanted to come surrender myself and I
Bless.
wasn't put in handcuffs, and dragged around.
Nobody had dragged you down, huh?
Well, girl, you
They're
kinda
just
got
trying
out
to
of the
get
car a little.
to this money. I know he got some sales for me. That's why he
Trying
trying to save
You
up.
tell me what you're gonna do and not
Cause
do.
it's,
After I'm giving you lawful commands
I
to
don't know how soon you think
you're
those
lucky you
niggas
didn't end
gonna
up on the
come in.
ground, okay? So,
I'm aware, but at the same time, I do deserve the right to have my own video for my.
no you don't.
Where?
If you can
Shit
tell me what
won't be
right
about
that comes
Saturday
from, I'm all
anyways.
ears. But ma'am, I've been doing this job a while. There's a camera right here facing
I know
you.
I'm getting a
I
pair
wear
for
a body
me, a
camera.
pair for you,
Alright, so let's not play those silly games, okay?
and I'm
The
selling the
Yakima
rest of them
Police
shit.
Department soon arrives on scene and takes custody of Kylia. She's transported to the police station for an interview where the devastating truth of what happened to her daughters will soon come to light. As Kylia
Daughters.
mentioned in her Snapchat video, she was arrested one day earlier at a McDonald's at 1:30 a.m. on February 24th. Police records identify the arrest as stemming from a misdemeanor warrant, though no further details are provided. Emma, a friend of
Damn, young
Kylia's,
lady.
told investigators that Kylia came to hang out with her in the Tri-Cities on Saturday the 22nd, staying overnight, but she didn't have her children with her. After she was arrested at McDonald's on the 24th, Kylia called her from jail asking Emma to bail her out.
I did not think
Homie said, don't
that her
have
kids
to
would
make
be
each other
home
laugh.
alone. Because I'm not sure.
I don't know if
I
they
think
have
it was in
another
one of
one,
the calls she
but
said,
I mean, not the blue
oh,
one.
the kids,
I don't know
I
if they
need to
have
go pick them
another
up
this
from my
one,
friend's house.
but this one can be shared.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So it didn't occur to me that
So put it
she
in
would
that
have
though.
left them at home.
At the time of her arrest at the McDonald's, Kylia was in the company of a man named Brad, the 37-year-old father of one of her close friends. Once she was released from jail later that afternoon, Brad was the one who picked her up, but she didn't go to check on her children, telling him they were with a friend.
She had a friend Kay or KK watching them. And I was like, all right, that's cool. Because I guess her friend needed a place to stay. So she had her watching them for a little while so she could breathe again and like get out and be able to do stuff with her friends and stuff like that.
Brad explains he and Kylia spent the evening together at his hotel room, but at some point she left, and when she returned, her demeanor drastically changed.
She came back and she was hysterical. Like, she wouldn't complete a sentence. Like, her eyes were all just wandering across carpet and stuff, and I was like, what is going on? You are different. And she goes, I can't tell you. And then she's like, can we just leave? And I was like, leave to where? And she goes, can we just go? Then, like, she just kept talking about she wanted to kill this chick K or KK or something.
But neither Brad nor Emma knows of anyone by that name. The next morning, Kylia drove to the Squaw Rock Resort, where she began recording her Snapchat video. She'd also posted to Facebook writing, I really did trust Kay would take care of them for a while.
I need you guys to mention the Facebook. The Facebook post that I made.
Oh yeah, someone shared. I'm not real savvy with social media.
Where's any of my other mails with about this card?
Maybe he was murdered there, but ultimately that's what it was. I
No,
just
there's
do
probably
wrong
one in your folder.
thing, but I just.
Yeah, I need
But
that.
Kylia's friend
That's the only way
Sophia
I'm gonna be
isn't
able to
convinced
order
by her
these
story.
sneakers.
She says it's a sitter. I think it's ridiculous that she says there's a sitter. I don't believe that. I don't believe there's a sitter. Because she said on some Yakima post,
I ain't
I'm not
gonna
going to
lie.
air out the sitter's name.
We going to get our
If a
permits
sitter
in
left your
July.
kid to die, you would air out the sitter's name. She's a liar. There was no sitter. She just
After the
left your kid.
4th.
Yeah, who are sitters worse?
She said her sitter was named Kay. K-A-Y. I have no idea who that is. Never heard of the person. Never seen the person. Never seen an Instagram. Never seen a TikTok. Never heard of them. Never seen a video of them. Nothing. That's why I don't think this person exists. I think it's something Kylie thought of because she found her baby dead and she felt remorse after a second. She's like, oh my God, what did I do?
Investigators also spoke with Kylia's parents, who adopted her when she was just 2 years old.
I just feel like I just entered an alternate universe. I mean, this is just.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Never had anything happen like this in my family.
And he said
In general.
adopted
And
her
it's
after
like,
she was 2
oh my
years
God.
old.
According to her father, Kylia did have a female friend staying at her home recently.
I don't know who that person was, but because when she said the name, I'd never heard that name before. I guess she doesn't say her name.
Does the name K or KK sound familiar to you? Okay. Would she leave them home by themselves?
I don't think she would leave her kids there by themselves.
Okay.
If there was somebody else at the apartment, I can see her doing that.
Okay.
But quite honestly, I think she's capable of anything.
Okay.
If she selfishly really desired to go do something with somebody, I would put anything down.
Okay.
We do not trust our daughter
Hey, look, these are mine.
all.
That's why I
Kylia's
keep
mother
them away
also
from
fails
yours.
to recognize the name KK, but wonders why her daughter didn't simply ask her to watch the girls instead.
We've always told her you need to reach out to us. We will come get the girls. It doesn't matter. Call us day or night. We will come get the girls always. How did I wish I would have went to my mom then? Because I knew I had a mom. I didn't have to overthink it. I was having so much fun.
While it remains to be seen whether someone named KK truly agreed to watch the children, only to then abandon them, detectives must also consider the grim possibility that Kylia never left the girls with a babysitter in the first place. According to her friend Chloe, Kylia often ignored the girls even when they were in her care.
I don't know, how she died, but Kylie never took care of them like she should have. Kylie was a very negligent mother. When I lived there, almost, I think she's 2 now. She doesn't cry, and she didn't when she was a baby because she knew Kylie wouldn't come get her. So the baby never made a sound.
Kylia's friend Sophia, who hasn't seen the girls since January, shares a tragic observation.
They always seem to have diaper rash, and I know it's Kylie just doesn't change them.
Okay.
And it's just, I don't know, because I get told that she changes them, and then it seems like that they keep coming back with diaper rash. The parents get rid of it, the grandparents. They keep the girls for a little bit, they'll get rid of it, then Kylie gets them back, they get diaper rash again. So it feels like they're not being changed enough.
We have some ointment that we would use over the weekend, and by the end of the weekend, it'd pretty much all be cleared up.
Cleared up.
Just a little
How
bit
was
left.
the
But
blueberry,
horrific.
smear off?
I mean, where it was, open.
Body right there, right?
Kinda horrific.
Yep.
The lack of diaper changes was so severe that on one instance,
The blueberry
Sophia
one
offered
right
to
there,
change
too.
the toddler herself.
So then she gave me a diaper, and it was so
I
much.
was thinking about
It
drinking
doesn't
the
have
one
food, but
that's
it
up
felt
there
like there was
too.
more than just one. Yeah.
You could feel
The parents are wet.
I ain't seen nothing in it.
When investigators visited the surviving 2-year-old girl in the hospital, what officers observed was beyond heartbreaking. The child had peeled skin on her leg, as well as blisters and sores around her backside and genitals.
and I tried, like, every time I would hang out with her and, like, give her food, she was fine. But then, like, if I took it away, she'd get mad. But to be fair, any kid would get mad if you could take away food. But, like, I gave her, like, a pack of fruit snacks, and she, like, was, like, crying. I'm like, oh, do you want more? And I'm like, that's so many fruit snacks. And then Kelly just kept giving her, go-go squeezes. And I was like, doesn't she need real food? And Kelly was like, she's got on go-go squeezes.
Once the detective arrives, Kylia is Mirandized and she agrees to answer questions. To understand more about Kylia's care of the girls, the detective asks about their eating habits and feeding schedules. Though the questions are simple, Kylia's answers are
telling you,
difficult
this
to
why I
follow.
can't have no kids. And once my kids able to speak and shit like that, my kids tell me they much in the wrong, that's when I'll go to jail for domestic violence for real. And I don't even condone them doing shit like that, but my kids, that's what, like,
whatever, 2 hours.
Okay.
Like, shit,
I heard I said to my uncle last night,
like, good eater.
and he ain't telling me that. My mom's told me that, like, once I got off the phone with my mom's, I would
Chloe
have
was able
walked.
to explain some of what she witnessed while she was temporarily staying with
that,
Kylia.
Lily being the baby,
what?
she, or the children, I think I fed something in dinner, I knew that for sure. She would sometimes get breakfast. It all depends, like, it's whenever Kylie wanted to wake up, depending on what she did the night before. Like,
all my
I
life.
sleep trained them too, so they
Literally.
slept through the night from like
Like,
8 o'clock to
pigeons
evening
don't lie. Pigeons ain't deceiving. Not all pigeons deceiving. I was in small all my life. Like, when I went to Job Corps, that small shit went out the window.
I go to sleep. My
Cause I
version
was
party,
on
by the
some
way,
other
is like,
shit.
I would smoke some weed, I would like watch movies,
Wish I
like
still
Call of
had
Duty,
them
like
videos. I
you know,
really
no
was
one
being
do
there
it
pushing them weights like no tomorrow.
At a mere 16 pounds, the 2-year-old girl showed noticeable
Oh,
signs of
I'm not
malnourishment,
like that,
with her ribcage visible and severe plaque buildup on her teeth. Sophia adds that the
stretching so
child's
much.
hair was never brushed and was
Sooner or
often in
later,
horrid condition.
everything gonna
And
be
so, like,
right
that was
back
kind
to
of weird to
normal.
me, but I'm like,
And the
turns
fun's
out
just
he's
gonna go
always
right
brushed
back
his
up.
hair all the time.
And I'm be able to do
But it
everything I
felt
want
like
to
it was
do.
dirty
Start my
sometimes. And I'm like, that
businesses.
shouldn't be dirt. Like, a hair shouldn't be sticky.
Go
But she
harder
said,
with
but
my
every time I asked her
music.
about it, she goes, she just ate.
At the hospital, investigators noticed mucus in the child's hair near her temples, as if it had dripped at some point and crusted. Between their horrid physical state and unsanitary living conditions, the situation became so dire that Kylia's own parents contacted Child Protective Services.
I actually just texted the CPS worker this morning before I found this out, and they said, she's not doing well. Please go check on her and the children. We haven't seen the kids in like 3 weeks. But we never anticipated anything like this.
Did CPS ever look at the babies? See, I like to look at their body or anything like that. I know she never really let them in the house. Every time they come, she wouldn't let them in the house.
I am so upset with CPS right now.
Okay.
Because when
They
we called
deserve
in,
to go to jail
we told them
too.
that we were her parents.
Uh-huh.
We told them that we were extremely concerned.
Honestly.
And the person that's the case manager went over, saw the apartment, and he tells us that, well, there's not much that we can do because, I've been to the apartment and it's a low-risk situation. I go, what in the world's going to make it a high-risk situation? Till one of them dies? I literally said that.
He explains they had an agreement with Kylia to take the girls every other weekend. Just 2 weeks earlier, they were scheduled to have them for Valentine's Day, but Kylia decided to keep the girls instead.
If the grandparents had the girls would be okay.
So the grandparents did a pretty good job.
Yes. If the grandparents, I wish the grandparents could have taken the girls, but Kylie was the one who was like, no, I can take care of them, I can take care of them, I can do it myself. And I think that's why she was like, no one can watch my kids, I can do it myself.
But according to her friend Emma, Kylia did little to care for the girls, and often left that responsibility to her ex-boyfriend, Rock.
His Rock was amazing with the kids.
Okay.
He took care of them.
Okay.
But, like, him and I were both concerned. And
What was your concern?
if she was gonna take care of them. And I told him, I said, you need to detach yourself from everybody and everything, they'll be fine for a while. Which I honestly regret, but that's relevant. But I told him, I was like, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Rock initially believed the 2-year-old was his biological daughter, but a DNA test later proved she was not. He now suspects the deceased infant, 7-month-old Cherry, may be his child, though he isn't sure.
Help. It was help. So, what does that mean, it was help? Maybe taking care of the kids. Taking care of her.
He later broke up with Kylie and moved out of the home after catching her taking explicit photos of herself.
I found out Kylie had been sending nudes to all these guys.
But something Kylie earlier shared with the officer may explain the photos.
I was trying to do OnlyFans so that I could work from home, and then
What's OnlyFans?
just like
She don't even gotta post her body. She could have posted her
like
feet.
my body.
She could have posted anything because it's really creepy. I'm telling you, just her feet. Just her feet. Or you dog.
You know, and then my goal was to do that first and stuff, and like
Can I finish rolling my drugs?
Yeah, but don't leave it open is what I'm saying.
Kylia's parents told investigators they pay for her car, apartment, and bills, since Kylia doesn't have a job. Some of her friends believed the extra money Kylia earned from OnlyFans may have been used to feed a dangerous habit.
I don't know. She was always manic.
She's an addict.
She seemed like she was always a little, like, whew,
She's
like
an
on
addict.
something, it seemed like. Always.
She would have
Hey,
parties.
she's an addict.
She would be doing cocaine on the table in the kitchen
Exactly.
while the baby was in her
Like I
room.
said, she's an addict.
When I picked her up,
She's
or when she
a
picked me up
junkie.
to go watch the movie, she's doing the whole.
I told you she sounded like one.
I think it's so funny how people from my old life will be like, oh my god, you're a meth head. But I've been cleaner longer than their brother's been dead. From overdosing.
I don't judge people, but
Cleaner
I mean,
than your brother.
Kylia openly admitted to some drug use with the detective, offering her own explanation for it.
So I've always been a student throughout all of this, like throughout all of it. Started. Because when I was pregnant, that's when I started. Because I couldn't eat. And I got hungry, and I could keep it down, and I felt like I was like benefiting my baby. Like I said, telling that if I'm eating, that doesn't like almost cancel out.
We've been trying to fix our daughter for a long time, and we can't fix her. She has to fix herself.
She has to want to be fixed.
Yeah. And did somebody else do this?
That's also a question that we have.
Yeah, because she let so many people into her home that that we have no idea.
Yeah.
But the question remains, did Kylia truly abandon her daughters, or did she leave them in the care of someone named KK?
I don't know who this K person is. I don't know. I don't know if this K person killed. I don't know if she neglected. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if the girls have been with this K person and not even at the apartment. I don't know.
Who's KK?
KK
What's KK's name?
is a neighbor of mine that I met through my other neighbor. And that neighbor moved away. And
You know
like,
KK's real name?
no, they're Mexican. Like they're Mexican. Mexicans, like every day, like the nickname changes. The KK sticks now.
And it's KK. How do you get a hold of KK when you need to talk to KK?
Normally, I don't have to. She just stays at home. If she needed to have an emergency, I leave her with the car seat.
So I guess, how do you get a hold of
She
her?
doesn't have a car.
So how do you get a hold of her to watch your babies?
She comes over, and then I take that time.
Emma's mother received a Facebook message from Kylia explaining that she came home after several days to relieve KK, only to leave again without confirming the babysitter was still there with her children.
Thought everything was okay, right? Thought everything was okay, and I cried. And so, without even checking on her, I just went to McDonald's before I could order her fries. Okay? So I go to jail, and in jail, I try to get bailed out. I try everything to get bailed out, and it doesn't happen. And I'm sitting in jail, and then I get a really horrible feeling. I thought it was nicotine withdrawal. Now I know it wasn't, because I was banging my head on the wall and saying, I need my babies. I need my babies. I have babies to go home to.
She then claimed she went home, only to discover 7-month-old Cherry was deceased in her bassinet.
Sweat and cold and dead. And I tried. I tried my hardest. I shouldn't have, because I knew it was going to put him in too far, but I wanted to hold my baby. And she was wet and cold inside me, and so I tried to scream.
Emma also received a similar message, which she plays for the detective.
If I had found my, this is just my opinion. Y'all cut this out. But if I found my daughter dead, I would not be hungry.
Yeah.
That would not be my concern.
In one of the messages, Kylia appears to consider the one child she has left alive and what to do with her next.
I'm really thinking about the other one because I'm kind of stuck in my head about being a bad mother and having a dead child. Okay? Not thinking about the other one because I feel like I'm his mother already, okay? So I'm trying to do a favor for that child by leaving. I do come to my other baby. I need to fight for her, dude.
However, investigators had already restricted visitor access to the 2-year-old at the hospital, fearing her mother may try to seek her out. Thankfully, she was arrested before she could return to Yakima on her own. As the messages continued, she once again pointed to the woman she felt was responsible for Cherry's death and the toddler's dire condition.
I'm the one that decided to leave all the time and get her that babysitter, and I can't. I feel responsible. I feel like a horrible mother.
You are
I
a
understand that I'm the
horrible
root
mother.
cause
That
of
is
this issue, but that is a homicide.
In an effort to paint a complete picture, investigators asked Kylia to explain exactly when she left the girls with KK and what she's been doing ever since. However, establishing a timeline is far easier said than done.
I don't have.
Can you look at a calendar?
That won't help.
Do you know what day today is?
That won't help. It's the 27th today, right? 26th.
Today's
And it's
Tuesday.
the 26th, right?
25th.
Oh, okay. So I was very close. I need day by day by day by day. I don't pick it. Like 28, 29, 30. That's not how I'm thinking my next day. I'm thinking next day, day after the next, the day after the next day.
Kylia asks for a piece of paper so she can draw out a timeline, but what she writes is incomprehensible. Instead of continuing down a futile path, the detective instead turns to what happened on the day she discovered her daughter's decaying body.
Did you touch?
Oh. I tried. That's why I ran. It's because I went, can I? I went like that. And then I saw a toy, and I never touched a dead body, okay? I'm not gonna rush it, but I'm not like an actual hood rat.
At that point, how did he was dead?
Cause traumatized face, you know that face when you know your child's face?
How long you been?
I don't know. No, I saw it. I saw it then.
Did you check?
I heard her crying like right here. She was standing.
So you heard crying and you still left?
Okay.
You said nobody was home with Brady.
Nobody was home.
Okay, so what do you think would have happened if you would have stayed there a little longer?
And nobody would have found her.
That's why I was trying to get it and and then I had blazers on me, so I thought you guys got there. And then I was being pissed for all of this because I just left without doing anything. You know what I mean? Like that genuinely, I was guilty. I felt guilty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt guilty that I had left, and I wanted to hold my baby.
Despite this, Kylia chose not to seek help for her suffering 2-year-old daughter and didn't call 911 until the following morning, delaying the toddler's rescue.
After that, I tried to overdose, but it didn't work. After I found dead and I reported it, and I was already like gone.
What were you overdosing on?
I had got some cocaine. So
when's the last time you did some cocaine?
I did it all in one go. I did a 50 and I thought I would die.
When was that?
That was the night when I thought the police were there.
The night that you found.
Yes.
Given that Kylia chose not to report the grim discovery right away or call for help for the toddler, the detective remains unconvinced that Kylia ever left them in someone else's care to begin with. In a shocking twist, while interviewing friends of Kylia's, investigators came across a woman named Kara, whose answers to their questions finally revealed the truth of KK's identity.
Thanks.
Were there times that you watched her kids?
I appreciate that.
There was one time that she had me watch her
I'm gonna
kids.
make sure I eat before I go to sleep.
They were sleeping.
Okay.
But they were both alive then.
Yeah. Did you have what name did you go by when you were?
My name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call you anything else?
No, KK.
Okay.
However, this interview took place at the Yakima County Jail, where Kara has been in custody for the last 3 weeks.
So here's a silly question. I'm going to ask it anyway. You arrested on the 4th, right? You haven't left here, right? So you didn't go out for a weekend and come back? Okay. So you didn't watch her kids last weekend?
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
This revelation tears apart Kylia's story that she ever left the children in KK's care. Disturbingly, further investigation reveals that Kylia may have been aware of the girl's condition and intentionally hid it from those closest to her. According to her parents, they visited Kylia at her house on Sunday, February 23rd, just 2 days before the girls were discovered. But before they arrived, she sent her mother a text.
I'm sorry, I don't know what my head's shaking.
You're okay.
She said, okay, in bed, she was tired, so the kids are asleep, basically, not verbatim, but you can read the text if you want.
According to police records, the text message reads, "She just took herself to bed and cried at the door for me until I let her into her crib and then she laid down. That was really just out of the usual and sweet." Kylia's parents arrived at the apartment and visited with her for 10 to 15 minutes. But as the children were supposedly asleep and Kylia wasn't behaving out of the ordinary, they never once entered their bedroom.
If I had had an inkling of any problem, if I would have had to bust the bedroom door down, I would have. There was nothing. There was nothing.
The grandparents had no idea that one granddaughter was physically decaying in her bassinet, while the other was slowly wasting away behind the closed bedroom door.
It's so bad.
Sickening.
The
Nigga said, damn, imagine getting arrested at McDonald's. That's wild.
The detective lays out a photo
I never
forcing
got
Kylia
locked
to
up at
confront the
McDonald's.
images of her 2-year-old daughter's emaciated body.
I done crashed out and went on the shit on Jamaica Ave before though. Not on the workers
This doesn't happen in a
at
couple
the
days.
school, bro, type
She
shit.
was skinny, but not like that. Her ribs are showing, but not like that. She was not even fat at all.
This is caused from neglect.
She was skinny. I had talked to the doctor about that because she refused to eat for a while, and she was starting to eat again. That's why I was getting her McDonald's. And she was skinny, but not like that. She had a diaper rash down there. But that was... I don't want to step in. I want to
You're not gonna show your head, baby.
that she wasn't changed at all from my dad's inspection when I came home and everybody was sleeping. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, and now I'm scared. Now I'm scared. It was maybe dead because I didn't hear her.
Yodo, you must just woke up.
I know. That was not that bad.
While they were in your care.
Yeah.
That was not that
And she's
bad
so
at
coked
all.
out and so high.
Though the detective is far from finished with Kylie,
Exactly.
he makes the decision to take a short break.
I'm gonna give you some time to look this over and talk about that.
So you is paying attention.
And I can show
We're
you
gonna
that.
step outside real quick, okay?
I don't know what you want me to do. Just look at these pictures. I get it. It's really traumatizing. I understand. I know that my kids like. So you're just gonna leave me with it.
We'll come back right now, okay? You can turn them over if you like.
It's traumatizing to do others. I understand my kids got skinny, but they were like that. They were like that. They were sunken in like that and pushed out like that.
With the images face down on the table, Kylie continues the conversation alone.
That's why I didn't want to look. I was scared of seeing that. I was just seeing a dead child. Traumatizing. I can't run anymore. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, no. Right. I was gonna sing that. I don't want to be here right now. I want to shelter. You know?
As the horrifying truth sets in, Kylia's abandonment of the girls comes as no shock to her ex-boyfriend, Rock, who drops a bombshell admission, revealing that this isn't the first time Kylia's actions have led to the death of a living being.
After we broke it up, I got news that she let the dog start.
In December of 2023, police were alerted to 2 dogs left abandoned at Kylia's home. One was severely malnourished to the point her bones were visible. She was tangled in a pink harness with a part of the cable embedded into her neck and had to be cut free before being rescued by animal services. The other had already starved to death. When Kylia was questioned, she claimed the dogs belonged to her ex-boyfriend, and after they broke up, she stopped providing the dogs with any food or water, claiming they were not her responsibility. Now, 2 years later, her own 2 children face the same tragic fate.
What do you think happened? In my eyes, I think she snapped. I don't exactly find it hard to believe that she just walked out and never came back. I really don't want that to be true.
During Cherry's autopsy, the infant was determined to have been severely malnourished and dehydrated, to the point that her fingers appeared mummified. But how long she's been deceased is still in question. When detectives return to speak with Kylia, she continues to cling to the impossible story that she left her girls in KK's care. To narrow the timeline of Cherry's death, they briefly entertained the claim, asking how long ago she believes she left the children with the babysitter.
It would be 6 days.
Hold on. Do I gotta run it back? There is no babysitter. KK is her. Hold on. She got them. No, they got her and they don't even realize it. She just snitched on herself so many times. And they're playing her game with her. See, that's why I don't talk too much. Mind my business.
Nobody was watching. Nobody was watching them.
It's my fault that I trusted her. Somebody else really is my fault. I'm sorry. I didn't want to think I trusted her.
Though investigators were unable to pinpoint the exact date of 7-month-old Cherry's death, the truth of what caused it is undeniable. And while the toddler was still alive and all alone, Kylia was in the Tri-Cities spending time with friends, visiting Brad at his hotel, and consuming narcotics.
Sometimes I do drugs. All things okay. And I've been cutting that out because I don't feel like I have to anymore. just fun for me, and I wasn't stuck in my house all day taking care of 2 kids.
Kylia also continued posting regularly to TikTok in the days before the girls were discovered, with most of her videos showing her lip-syncing to music. In one TikTok posted on February 18th, she appears to be inside her home, at a time when 7-month-old Cherry may have already died, and her 2-year-old was slowly starving in her crib. The heartbreaking truth leaves her friend Sophia utterly devastated.
Kylie was like my best friend for so long, so it's really hard to think that she would actually do that. You know what I mean?
Emma's mother, who received the Facebook message from Kylia, shares her own thoughts on the matter.
You know, just don't have you don't have the room to feel sorry for the mother when she has done this and it ended up with a deceased child. Now these are consequences. It's very sad. My heart goes out to the police officers.
Yeah.
I cannot even imagine.
What investigators still cannot explain is why she would have chosen abandonment over calling her parents for help.
Let me ask you something. At any point during your friendship with Kylia, and while she was parenting these 2 children on her own, did she ever express any frustration, like, like, I don't like these children, I hate them, I wish I could have my life back, or anything along those lines?
She would make little comments I can't pick anything out, but she would say things like, oh, I wish it was like what it was before I had kids. And actually she was, in one of the messages, crying, saying that she can't get gas money because she can't sell pictures of her boobs because they're in her body.
Rock recalled many arguments with Kylia, including one where she accused her daughter of ruining her dreams of becoming a NASCAR driver.
Do you think she wanted to be a mom?
No. I mean, there was times where, you know, she'd be like, I need a moment. And I need to moment with my girls. And I'd be like, okay. And there was times where she'd be like, I have to walk away. I can't do it anymore.
Kylia is completely selfishly motivated.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is she puts herself before anything else in life, including her children.
Okay.
And that was explained to CPS that if you have a mother that's going to continuously do something like that, something terrible is going to happen one day.
Yeah.
And
here we are.
And here we are.
I just wanted to have some fun teenage time. And I always say that I can't do it, and this is why I can't do it. And so I guess that wants to come to an end.
You guys know that I'm my children. I love both of them. I love my children. I love them. I still love them. All I want is my 2 babies to get, and that's never gonna happen again. I hate it.
Before heading to jail, Kylia asks if she can speak with her
Just
mom,
told you.
who detectives are able to get on the phone.
But she looked like Jessie. But she looked like Jessie. Come look at her.
I know. I feel you. I know. Over and over again. And then
Yo, why am I trolling like that?
I know.
Nah, she don't look like Jessie.
In February of 2025, 20-year-old Kylia Toll was formally charged with first-degree manslaughter, 2 counts of family abandonment, and 2 counts of first-degree criminal mistreatment. She was also later charged with 2 counts of animal cruelty for the 2 dogs who were left abandoned in 2023. In both cases, Kylia entered a plea of not guilty. A jury trial is scheduled for June of 2026. No public information has been released regarding the 2-year-old's placement or condition, beyond confirmation that, against unimaginable odds, the young girl survived. If you'd like to see select new videos early and help us keep uncovering case files that rarely come to light, You'll find extra footage and unseen details on our Patreon. Channel memberships here on YouTube also include early access to select new videos.
On July 19th, 2023, Araya's mother was standing outside Ed Fraser Memorial Hospital in Baker County, Florida. Just 10 minutes earlier, she thought her daughter was napping, safe, inside, at the babysitter's house, like every other day. But when she rang that doorbell, the babysitter didn't answer. She ran straight to her SUV, and there, still strapped into her car seat, was Araya, locked in that car for 5 hours, in the middle of the hottest week of the year. But how could this happen? This babysitter wasn't a stranger. She was the family's best friend, who had been babysitting since she was 17. Hi, my name is Christine. Before we go any further, I want to be honest with you. This case involves the loss of a very young child, so I'll make sure to tell this story with utmost care and respect, because glorifying her tragedy will be against my ethics. To understand the weight of what was lost, you have to first understand who Araya was and the family that built their entire world around her. The year is 2016. In Baker County, Florida, a place a world away from Manhattan skylines and Harvard dining halls. Two teenagers are falling in love. His name is Justice Kelvez Page. He is the kind of young man that was easy with a smile. He grew up in McLenny, a town of roughly 7,000 people, bordered by pine forests and flat land, where the biggest landmark is a single stoplight and a sense that life moves at its own honest pace. Her name is Brooke Taylor LaPointe. Brooke is someone who pays close attention to the world around her. She was warm in a way that feels natural, not forced. She's creative, thoughtful, and deeply loyal to the people in her life. They were high school sweethearts, and everyone at school knew their love story. They dated for 4 years before Justice finally proposed to Brooke. On October 9th, 2021, Brooke and Justice stood across from each other and made it official. Brooke posted that this marriage is the biggest blessing in her life. They were excited to build their dream life. The couple was quite close with Justice's mom and dad. They loved Brooke as their own daughter. In January 2022, when Brooke finds out that she is pregnant, Justice's mother, Pamela Page, a registered nurse, can barely contain herself. This will be the first grandchild, the first of a new generation in the Page family. They already had plans and dreams for the future, painting a nursery, choosing a name, building a life together in a simple, quiet way that made them feel complete. But the pregnancy was not easy. Somewhere in those months, Brooke's body begins to struggle. She develops preeclampsia, a condition that raises her blood pressure dangerously high and puts both her and the baby at risk. There is no drawn-out warning. The timeline shifts. The careful countdown they had been marking is suddenly accelerated. On September 4th, 2022, 6 weeks before anyone was ready, Araya Renee Page arrived. She weighs just 4 pounds and 1 ounce, 17 inches long, small enough to fit in the palm of Justice's hand. And to Page's family, she is the most beautiful, breathtaking thing they have ever seen. Araya was immediately taken to the NICU at Wolfson Children's Hospital in Jacksonville. Doctors monitored her for 2 weeks before Brooke and Justice finally brought their daughter home. And from the moment she arrived, She was, by every account, adored by her parents. For her grandparents, Pam and her husband, meeting their first granddaughter was a moment they would never forget.
Did you poop on this man?
That shit is making me tired.
Did you?
What?
You go to town?
It's making you tired.
Did you poop on? I think you did.
She was a child of summer. She loved being outdoors. She was a beach baby. One of her favourite things in the entire world was riding in the boat with her father. She was her daddy's princess. At home, she had two inseparable companions, a stuffed rabbit named Mr. Nibbles and a stuffed elephant named Miss Ella. Despite her difficult start, Araya was surrounded by love. Her grandparents watched with pride as their son and daughter-in-law embraced parenthood with unwavering devotion. But more than anything, Arya was, in her family's own words, a daddy's girl. A baby so full of life that she'd toddle over to her sleeping father and gently smack him awake just because she wanted his attention. And, in Brooke's words, she was her mini-me and her best friend. This was a young, working family. Brooke and Justice were like millions of parents across America, building a life, working hard, leaning on the people around them to help raise their child. After Araya came home, Brooke took a 12-week maternity leave, and Justice also took paternity leave. They spent every single day of that leave with their daughter, dreading the moment it had to end. When Brooke's maternity leave concluded, they needed to find a childcare solution. Fortunately, they had family support initially. A family member volunteered to babysit Arya, and this worked out very well. That arrangement ran smoothly until the family member's own kids came home for summer break, which meant she could no longer babysit. This is where the search for a new caregiver began. And that's when they met a woman who was already babysitting many kids in their neighborhood and was well known for her motherly instincts. Her name was Rhonda Charmaine Jewell. She was 46 years old. In her small community, Rhonda was the woman parents trusted with the most fragile piece of their lives, their kids. Rhonda had been caring for children for most of her adult life. She started babysitting as a teenager from the age of 17, then stepped back to raise her own 3 children. And when they grew up, she came back to childcare. Parents in McClenny knew her, liked her, and recommended her, as she loved being with the kids. Rhonda wasn't a licensed daycare operator. She was a neighborhood babysitter. Parents hired directly and paid out of pocket to watch their kids at home. Mothers would describe her as kind, gentle, and attentive. They said she treated the kids like they were her own. One of those children was 10-month-old Araya Page. But Araya wasn't just another baby on Rhonda's schedule. For years, Rhonda had been best friends with Monique, Araya's grandmother. She was very close to the family from the beginning. She was there at Brooke's wedding. She was there at Araya's baby shower, sitting in the front row, celebrating the arrival of the very child she would one day be trusted to protect. She would watch Araya every Monday and Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The rest of the week was covered by family members. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, Aria's paternal grandmother, Pamela Page, would care for her at her own house. On Fridays, Aria's maternal grandmother, Monique Carter, adjusted her work schedule. Every day had been carefully planned, with Aria surrounded by people her parents knew and trusted. They had done everything they could to make sure their daughter was always in safe hands. By the summer of 2023, Taking care of Araya had just become part of Rhonda's everyday life. Every morning, she'd pick her up, strap her into the car seat, and drive over to her place where she was already watching other kids. Then, in the early afternoon, around 1 p.m., Araya's mum would come and take her home. Rhonda was handling multiple kids at once. It was busy, and honestly, a bit chaotic at times for her. And that's exactly what makes this case so disturbing. Because before July 19th, 2023, no one saw Rhonda as a risk. She was trusted, a familiar face, someone the family was comfortable with. July 19th, 2023. By the time the sun was fully up, the day was already promising to be brutal. It was nearly 100 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the hottest days of the year. Around 8 o'clock that morning, Rhonda Jewell drove to Brooke's residence in McClenny to pick up Araya. Brooke had already fed and dressed Araya. She also packed her bag, which had all her essentials like diapers, wipes, pacifier, and some medicines for any emergency. From there, Jewell drove to a second babysitting job on Estes Street, where 3 children from the Pascal family were waiting for her. She usually used to go there by 8:30 to 9 every day, but today she had to reach early by 8:15 and she was already running late. When she pulled into the driveway, she was focused on getting inside quickly to begin caring for the other children. In the transition from the vehicle to the house, she thought that Araya was sleeping and didn't want to disturb her, so she thought she would get her from the car later. Araya was sleeping quietly while Jewell entered the house and began babysitting the Pascal children. Outside, Araya remained alone in the car. The SUV wasn't inside a garage or under shelter. It was parked beside the driveway, exposed to the relentless Florida summer sun. As the hours passed, the temperature inside the vehicle climbed higher and higher. This is the part of the story where your mind immediately wants to scream a single word: how? How do you not bring a baby inside? How do you not notice a missing child in your care? How does a 10-month-old just slip out of a person's mind?
It's not her kid,
How
so
can you
she
just
don't
forget
really
someone's
care.
baby in a car for 5 hours? Inside that house, life went on. Rhonda Jewell fed children, she changed their diapers, maybe broke up fights over toys. Completely ordinary day of babysitting, like the thousands of times she has done before. And outside in the driveway, in the back of a closed
For
SUV,
5 hours though?
the temperature began to climb.
That's a drag in 100-degree weather.
Arrived to pick up her daughter.
In 100-degree weather, I'm not even leaving my kid
It
in
should
the
have
car
been the
for
most
5 minutes.
mundane moment of the day, but would later turn into something that would terrify her entire life. It was the arrival of Aria's mother that shattered the illusion.
She was about to go in there, like basically without the baby.
When she asked Rhonda about Aria, she immediately ran towards the SUV to realize she forgot her inside. Brooke followed her, and when she looked through the window,
in the car, and I couldn't breathe. So if I couldn't breathe,
she saw Araya still strapped into her car seat. The same bag Brooke had packed that morning sitting right beside her, completely untouched. Not a single thing was removed from it. Jewell pulled Araya from the seat and carried her to the garage and called 911 immediately.
I wouldn't have just left the baby there.
Brooke dropped to her knees beside her daughter and began CPR, following instructions from the 911 operator, breathing air into lungs that had already been still for too long. First responders raced to the scene where Brooke and Rhonda were crying inconsolably.
I'm sorry, but see, I'm sorry, I don't trust people, bro. Like,
The car doors were open too, so.
You cut my kid hair, you burn my kid hair, any of that, I don't care who kid you is, what sibling kid you is, I'm violating everybody.
Let me know when you're ready, Chloe.
CPR in progress.
Deputies and emergency medical services attempted life-saving measures. Brooke was feeling helpless and angry. Aria was immediately taken to a local hospital. Every minute was very crucial here.
She's a premature baby at that. Little girl.
Going freighters? Take 14 away. Oh, you're on?
In a 133-degree car for 5 hours. Nah, that's wild. Man, I would have strangled somebody. That nanny would have got strangled, I'm telling you, bro. Like, I'm not even joking, bro. Like, I would have lost it. Because
Aria's grandmother rushed to the hospital as soon as she heard of what happened to her. She and Brooke were waiting outside, praying to God to save Aria, and then the doctor came with the worst news any parent can receive.
that nanny would have been going to jail.
What just happened?
They told her daughter passed away. Her daughter was dead already, though. Before they even took her to the hospital. From when she was doing CPR on her. Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't do this anymore. I don't even want it. I don't want it. It was to pay the babysitter, and I don't want to pay her.
Somewhere we can take her, you know, you see.
The Baker County Sheriff's Office treated Aria's death as a criminal matter almost immediately and took Rhonda Jules into interrogation.
As they should.
Actually, her next going up to the sheriff's office. Take her. Come back. It won't take long. Just to drop her off and they'll sit on. Is there anything we need to do for crime scene? That's a question. As of right now, I'm not sure. Okay. Because I have no details either. No. Yeah, I have nothing. That's all I'm asking.
Can I go check?
Yeah. Can I come inside with you, make sure? Tell her to bring some ID too. Hey. She's got change. Have her bring her ID back too.
Did you tell her to call my husband?
Call her.
Miss Rhonda, what's his number?
Rhonda Jewell was arrested, and now this is the moment when she starts describing in detail what exactly happened that morning, and her story will decide if she really forgot the child in the car, or was this completely intentional.
I pick up Araya from her house, but today was an earlier day because the other lady needed me at 8:15, so I picked her up at 8 o'clock, which is usually 8:30. Anyway, so I picked her up, and I pulled through Burger King to get something to eat, but the line was too long, so I left and went so I was at
On a state street, right? Right.
So I got there at 8:15, and the baby was like, because she was asleep and she was quiet, and because I don't keep her every day, I forgot she was there. So I went inside, got busy with the other kids, and I've been talking to the mom throughout the day, and it just didn't click.
Right.
That the baby was outside.
So that was at 8 o'clock. What time did you realize that it was outside? You know what time roughly that was? When 911 was called? Okay. How many kids were in the car when you got home with her, when you got to that house today? Just her? Just her?
Rhonda clearly told the officer that she spoke with Aria's mother during the day, all while the baby was still in the car outside. And yet, according to her, it just didn't click. Like, how is it possible that you talk to the mother and still forget about the baby? Something
that sounds crazy.
really off
That's
here.
because I'm certain the mother asked, "Where's my daughter?"
Take her inside.
But I'm saying you said you noticed that she was asleep when you got there.
Well, I assumed she was asleep. She didn't want to make any noise.
Okay, she wasn't making noise.
Yeah, I just picked her up. Her mom said that she would probably go to sleep, so I just assumed she had fell asleep, but she didn't make any noise.
Okay. And the questions that will come up is, is anything on your mind? Are you going through something personally that would cause you not to, think about it?
I mean, we have a kid moving to college, so we're doing that, and we're going to London, and we're supposed to go on vacation tomorrow, and
I forgot the baby. That is the core of her entire defense. Although detectives weren't satisfied, they pushed on her routine, trying to understand if there was ever a moment when she intended to go back for Aria. After listening to Rhonda's account and reviewing the scene, Baker County authorities made their position brutally clear. This was not, in their eyes, an unavoidable accident. The investigators at the scene would later confirm that the temperature of the car that day went up to 134 degrees when the car was open, and probably 150 to 160 when Aria was inside the car.
That was 134 interior.
The door being open.
The door being open, so it was probably 150 or 60 in there when it happened.
It is extremely neglectful and dangerous behaviour, nothing you would expect from someone who already has 3 kids and has been babysitting for so many years. She was booked into the Baker County Detention Center at her first court appearance.
That's what I'm starting to realize. People with kids don't even know how to really take care of kids. So I won't leave my kids with nobody. Let me put it like that. When I have kids, my kid's not even going to school. Fuck that. Y'all want to call ECS? Call them.
To keep her locked up, but the judge made a telling observation.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
The case was not charged as murder.
No, my kid's not going to school at all. My kid's not leaving my presence.
By the time the case reached the jury, Rhonda Jewell faced 3
Yeah, I'm
charges.
gonna homeschool my kids.
Is you either daily or weekly drop
Murder, child neglect, and
their paperwork
manslaughter.
or the work that they have done at home.
Yeah,
The
they don't
prosecution's
get
argument
no
was
way from
straightforward.
school.
A baby was placed in her care and that baby died. Whatever the reason, whatever the explanation, Rhonda Jewell was the
That's
one
not
responsible for
proper
Araya
nor
that
correct
day.
education.
As long
And
as they get
Araya did not
their
come
answers
home because of
correct
her
and their grades are good,
foolishness.
yes, that's proper
Together, the
education.
charges
As long
reflected
as
the
they're learning
prosecution's
and
position
installing and
that what
understand
happened
what
that
it is that
day
they're
was
learning
not
as far as
simply a
school-wise,
tragic mistake,
yes, they will still
but
graduate,
conduct
they will
that
still get
rose
their
to the
paperwork, they
level
will
of
still get
Alright,
criminal
so you wanna hear
responsibility
something?
You just
under
have to
Florida
register
law.
So how about
to a
this?
school.
How about this? Yeah, my kids go to school, go to every class, collect the work, and
On
I'm
July
going to pick my kids up.
25th,
They're not staying in that
2023,
building.
just 6
That's
days
how
after
their
Aria's
school
death,
gonna
the
work.
Baker County community
They don't
came
have to
together
stay
for
there
something
and
no
interact
family
with
should ever
kids.
have to endure the funeral of a
They don't have
10-month-old
to.
child.
I don't
Okay,
care what
you want to
me
sit here and
personally.
argue with me about this, but
I'm
I'm
not
trying to tell
arguing
you,
with
At
you about
Christian
this is
nothing.
Fellowship
how
Temple in McLean,
the education
How the
friends,
system is.
relatives,
yes.
and
Yeah, and my
neighbors
kids not
gathered
going
to
through that shit.
celebrate
For the
Araya's
children,
life.
to your email or
Before the
whatever the
service
case may be,
began,
or to your
mourners
home, you have
quietly
to have a
filed
printer,
past her small
a
casket,
computer,
pausing
and stuff
beside
that you need in
photographs
order
that
to get
captured
their
the little
paperwork.
girl
But
as her
there's
family
nothing
knew
wrong
her,
with you homeschooling a
smiling,
child. And
laughing,
yes, they
and
arrange
surrounded
for
by
you
love.
to do for other homeschool children
When
to
the
meet
ceremony
with the
came
parents,
to an end,
so that way they
Aria's
can interact
family
with
made one
with each other, so
final
that way
journey
they
to
still
Quitman
know
Cemetery
social
in nearby
skills.
Sanderson. There,
That is
in the
mandatory.
quiet of a small country cemetery,
Extracurriculum is
they laid her to
mandatory, so
rest.
yes, you might have to send
Aria
them to
would never
school for
celebrate her
coach or
first
something,
birthday.
but that's about it.
Took a
But
toll
it
on
can
us, our
all be
family.
either here.
There was a couple bumps in the road. But we pushed through. We
You know
pushed through
what?
together as a family, as a community.
Now I
And
know
we
why
just kept going.
we not having
Her
children
mother-in-law
together.
would later tell in the
Good.
interview
That's what you
how
need to get
difficult
from
this
around
time
here.
would
Because you
be
wanna sit here
without
and
the
act like I
support
don't know
of
what
their
I'm talking
family
about,
and
and I do.
community around them.
First granddaughter was so special. She came into the world 6 weeks earlier.
As a proud granddad, what was it like to hold her for the first time?
Well, it was just like holding a brand new baby, like it was my very own.
Araya was a daddy's girl, and she was her mama's mini-me.
Even though Aria had only spent 10 months with them, it is almost like their entire lives was revolving around that sweet baby, and then suddenly the loss of it all just had an immense impact.
The last moments that we were able to spend with Araya, to look at her, you didn't see the results of what happened to her. You just saw that sweet baby. She was just asleep. She was just asleep, so. And because she was asleep, I believe she just slept and didn't wake up. And the medical examiner confirmed that that's what happened. That she just slept.
But here is what you need to understand, because it matters enormously for what comes next. Brooke and Justice Page did not go home and grieve quietly. They rose up. In the days following Aria's death, before the funeral flowers had even wilted, the family and dozens of friends gathered at the intersection of McClenny Avenue and 6th Street. They held enormous posters bearing Aria's photographs, emblazoned with the words that would become the rallying cry of the entire case: Justice for Aria.
That rally is called Justice for Araya. You see dozens of people stationed at the four corners of the intersection of McClenny Avenue and 6th Street. A lot of people holding up different signs with pictures of Araya. And their message is that they say they want justice for Araya, including that same message coming from her parents.
Baby Araya kissing her mother. This is the last video Brooke and Justice Page had of their only child.
She grabbed my shirt and pulled up on me,
I'm about to go
and I was
listen
like, "Oh my
watch
gosh,
this
Araya,
video.
I think we're almost to your first steps."
She would pull on my chin and the little bit of hair that I have. She'd pull on it, and she'd always just come up to me, and if I'm asleep, she'd slap me and wake me up, and
She was a daddy's girl.
The family started speaking out, hoping no other child would ever have to go through this.
Every time you do get into a hot car, just remember that that was my daughter in that car for 5 hours. I just don't want any other babies or any other children to ever experience what Araya did, because it hurts.
Do everything that I can to get justice for her.
Wake up every day and I tell myself I gotta do this for Araya.
By this time, Phillips and the family began pushing for something bigger, a legislative effort they called Aria's Law, aimed at raising awareness and tightening the rules around children left in vehicles. Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill officially designating April as Hot Car Death Prevention Month in the state of Florida. The month was chosen deliberately. It falls right before the heat arrives, exactly when families need the reminder most. In 2023, the year Aria died, 25 children in the United States died after being left in hot cars. Aria was number 16. The following year, that number jumped to 40 children. In a single year, and Florida, where Aria lived and died, ranks number 2 in the entire nation for hot car deaths, behind only Texas. Aria's name was no longer just on a headstone or a funeral program. It was in headlines across Florida. Her family had turned unbearable loss into a movement, but there was still one place they hadn't found justice yet: the courtroom. November 2024. More than a year had passed since Aria died in that car, and now the case that had divided Baker County finally moved into the courtroom. 12 jurors were asked to answer one brutally simple question: was this a crime or a catastrophic mistake? The state called Aria's father first. Justice Page walked to that witness stand knowing exactly who was sitting in that courtroom: the woman who had his daughter in her care, the woman who drove his 10-month-old girl to her death. He sat just a few feet away from her, and he told the jury what it felt like to get that phone call.
I was looking around and I asked, "Where's Araya?" And
yeah, back to what I was saying.
My mom told me that she
My
had
kids
passed away.
aren't going to school to interact with these nasty ass kids.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
It's in a hospital room. She was laying in the bed.
And were other family members allowed in there with you?
Yes, sir.
Then it was Brooke's turn. She cried through almost all of it. There were moments where she could barely get the words out, and when the prosecution placed photographs in front of her, photographs of Aria, of the car, of that bag that was never once opened, she broke completely.
She was a very lovely little girl. She would laugh. She was never a bad baby. She was constantly so happy, but she would stare through you like no other person. She didn't care who you were. Even me, she'd look at me and make me laugh at those little goofy looks. At that point, she was saying Dada. She was just getting to the point where she was able to pull up on stuff, like she was about to start walking. She was just so giggly and happy, so bubbly, such an outgoing baby. You would just have to see her and you would just fall in love. Yes. I do that.
I'm going to go ahead and
proceeding subject to the objections raised by.
Brooke also told the jury something small that destroyed everyone in that room. She said the last video she had of Aria on her phone, the very last one, showed her daughter doing something remarkable for a baby that young, pulling herself up to stand, almost to her first steps, and she never got to take them.
She grabbed my shirt and pulled up on me, and I was like, oh my gosh, Aria, I think we're almost to your first steps.
The prosecution's message to the jury was focused and unrelenting. Rhonda Jewell was not an overwhelmed parent. She was not someone rushing through a chaotic morning with 3 kids and a forgotten cup of coffee. She was a paid professional. She was hired specifically to care for this child. And her one job, her only job that morning, was to keep Aria safe. She failed at it completely, and a baby died. To the state, the words, "I forgot," were not a defense. They were a confession of failure. The defense told a different story. They told the jury that what happened that day was a tragedy, not a crime, that there was no motive, no intent, no malice, that Rhonda Jewell had no mindset of a killer, and...
Okay. Nah, that's too... Nah, that was too much. That just messed up my brain.
Tell her try your best just to make it quick. Woman tend to the sick. Cause there must be something she can do. This heart is broken in two. Tell her it's a case of emergency. There's a patient by the name of Gregory. Night nurse, only you alone can quench this your thirst. My night nurse, oh gosh, oh the pain is getting worse. I don't wanna see no doctor. I need attendance from my nurse around the clock. Cause there's no prescription for me. She's the one, the only remedy. Night nurse, only you alone can quench this thirst. My night nurse, oh the pain is getting worse. I'm hurt by love. I don't wanna see no dog. I need attendance from my nurse around the clock. But there's no prescription for me. She's the one, the only remedy.